Hey guys, this is Mrs. Klein again. We are on May, week 6, day 2, for those of you who had the many ways to measure reading passage, and we are going to go ahead and do the summary of that video right now, okay? Let's go ahead and get this up. Remember, we had talked yesterday about maybe verbalizing or saying the summary orally first before we write it. So let's go ahead and discuss. This passage again was pretty short. So they had 3 paragraphs, and it just, paragraph 1 talked about how to measure height. Paragraph 2 talked about how to measure weight, and paragraph 3 talked about how to measure temperature. So there wasn't really an introductory paragraph or a closing paragraph. It was just those 3 paragraphs about those 3 different ways to measure. So that kind of already, I kind of just summed it up for you in very simplistic terms. You guys are going to use better wording and more educated terms to write this. So go ahead and tell me what you're thinking. What happens at the beginning? What's our first paragraph about? Yes, there are many different ways to measure height. Yeah, very good. Or there's many different ways to measure objects. To measure height, you're going to use a yardstick or a tape measure. Very nice. Okay, then what's the second paragraph about? Yeah, when you measure a person or an object's weight, you're going to use a scale, and you have to figure out which scale is best to use. Good. And then the last paragraph? Yeah, when measuring temperature, again, the best tool to use for that is a thermometer, and they make special thermometers to measure a person's temperature or measure the outside temperature. Okay, so again, you're going to use this graphic organizer that I have to help you write your paragraph. So you're going to use the information that's in this to write your paragraph on notebook paper. At the top of your notebook paper, I want you to put the title of the story so that way I know what your paragraph is about and what summary, what passage the summary goes with. So the title of this one was Many Ways to Measure. Okay, now let's just go ahead and talk what you guys already said. You guys already told me at the beginning there are many different ways to measure objects. There are many different ways to measure objects. To measure the height of a to measure the height of anything. To measure the height, you will use a yardstick or a tape measure. Okay, so to measure height, you will use a yardstick or a tape measure. Very nice work on that. Sorry, I had a little mistake there. I got confused on my writing. Okay, so then next it talks about the ways that you're going to measure weight. How much something weighs, how heavy it is. You guys got it, you're right. So when measuring person or object's weight, you will use, you will need to choose the correct scale, type of scale. Remember it talked about, there are different scales like to measure how much you weigh, you might stand on a scale that has digital numbers or a dial. If you're going to measure something like food, you're not going to set it on the bathroom scale that you have. There's something called a balance scale. There's some spring scales. Those kinds of things are what you're going to use for lighter things. So if you're just going to measure like a cup of grapes or something like that, you're not going to put it on your bathroom scale. You're going to choose a different type of scale. So that's all that's saying. Okay, and then the very last paragraph, you guys said it has to deal with temperature and how you measure temperature. So when measuring temperature, the best tool to use is a what? Yeah, a thermometer. Good work, guys. Again, these passages are a little simpler to write our summaries on. You're going to take these 4 sentences that we wrote, and you're going to put them on your notebook paper and create a paragraph. Remember to indent the first line. Remember to write nice and neat for me. Double check capitals, end marks, spacing in between words. Write nice and neat. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I miss you all. Love and hugs. Bye.